So we're going to start with some Citraflow. And then I've been working on making my own cards, so I made a huge deck that just has words in it. So I went ahead and picked a couple off the top, and we're just going to see what comes out. Okay, well, your word is calculated. I've also been practicing calligraphy. I have a lot of hobbies. It's not a bad thing to be calculated, but it seems like in this case it's doing you more harm than good. When you're trying to make a relationship work, it's not based off of how many qualities do we have in common that makes us, match. It's not about that. It's more like, what do you want out of life? What do I want out of life? And trying to achieve those things together. And a lot of times being calculated keeps you stuck. It doesn't let you grow or adventure out. And that doesn't have to be in a relationship either. It can be with everything. If you end up trying to just think your way through everything, you're going to end up stuck. And if you're stuck right now, it's because you've been just thinking about it. It's like when it actually comes down to making something happen, a lot of times all your calculations don't mean shit. Whenever it comes to putting that idea into the real world, it's amazing how no matter how well you think you understand the world, it's like when you try to put an idea down from your brain into the world, it's never the same. And there's something going on with you that is like you need to do it, but you've just been running it through the ringers, and the universe is saying it is time to get off your ass and go do it. It's not gonna be anything that you have calculated. It's not. You need to go and just run off of instinct. And you know what? There was like a huge feeling of like, oh, what if I fail? There are no failures. They are learning opportunities. So, you get off your ass and you go try to make a video and it doesn't turn out the way you want it. That's okay, because at least you got off your ass and you did it. Now, from there, you can figure out, okay, well, I didn't like this, or I did like this. And then you can actually try it again, but you're going to have to keep trying to get it to the point that you have in your head. Because in your head, it's this like magnificent, beautiful thing. And it can be that, but you got to get off your ass and you got to go do it. And you got to try it. And you got to keep working at it until you get it the way you want it. There's a message here coming through saying that it doesn't matter which route you take to try to get to your end goal, because it's like it's not gonna be exactly the way that you planned on it. So it doesn't matter how you do it. If you need to have someone pick a number between 1 and 10 and then attach a route to each number and go down that route. Or you can Google random number calculator and it'll just give you a random number. But do something. That's the point. The point is just start. Just do something. It's going to be shit. It's not going to work the way you want it to, but you need to accept that in order to be able to start this project so you can get it to where you want it. And all those times that it doesn't work out, those are times for you to learn from so you can get it there. Yeah, so that's confirmation for sure. The universe is like, I don't have anything more to say. I need you to just start working. So, good luck. Hi, number 2. So we're going to start with some Citraflow. And the cards that you picked from, I'm working on a bunch of my own cards. And these ones are cards that just have words on them. Mostly descriptive words for people. And we're going to do this and see what messages come out. Okay, so word that came out for you is snobby. So it seems like you've kind of reached this point in your life where it's like you've done a lot of work and you know you're on your way up, but it seems like you don't feel as like, I don't know, you thought you would feel different when you worked your way up a little bit. And it's like, because you don't feel the way that you thought you'd feel, you kind of make yourself feel that way, and then it comes off as snobby. You're not actually trying to be snobby, but there's like this kind of bubbling, festering underlayer of imposter syndrome, fear, and complacency. where it's like, you know what you're doing, and you enjoy doing it, but it's like you thought that there would just be this constant stream of creativity and inspiration and just woo, and it's kind of made you a little bit like bitter, snobby. Here's the deal. The reason that it like the reason all of that creativity and inspiration has come to a stop is because this fear and all the other stuff down there bubbling around is becoming more prominent. And it looks like, one, because you quit having fun. It's like you worked so hard to get good at what you're doing that you quit having fun with it, and when you quit having fun with it, that's when that inspiration starts coming down. And then, because that inspiration starts coming down, and you're still kind of working your way up, there's this kind of like fear and little hiccup, that doubt that comes in. And that festering kind of cuts off creativity too. Because it's like you're actually just more worried about, oh man, like, is this what I'm actually going to be doing? This isn't what I thought it was going to be, but I think I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but it doesn't feel the way I thought it would. So while you're all kind of stewing around there, it's like all the ideas that you should be having are getting blocked out by these other thoughts. So, the message coming through is that refocus your attention on trying to make what you do fun again. So if that means moving locations, or if that means getting a new deck if you're a tarot reader, or if that means actually trying something outside of your wheelhouse. So it's like if you're used to doing a tarot spread, try free willing it. If you're used to free willing it, try doing a tarot spread. You're going to have to make challenges for yourself in order for you to have that continuous amount of creativity and inspiration. It's not just going to come free willy all the time, because it's like then you wouldn't be able to really get anything done. But there's like this fear that it's like, oh man, like I'm going to get to the top and I'm going to not know, like, you know, you're going to get to the top and it's not going to be what you thought it would be. And it's not going to be what you thought it would be. But this is a good lesson on your way up there. And in order for you to make it to the top and actually have it be fulfilling the way that you want it to be, or you would like it to be, is that you're going to have to keep making creativity and changes in your art form or your work in order to kind of keep that flow going. When you do the same thing every time, it's like then you don't need creativity, because it's like you're just going to do the same thing every time. So creativity and inspiration are definitely a muscle, along with, you know, when you don't have, like, when you're in a pretty good place, but it's like you're just trying to build your life up. It's like now you've dug yourself out of hell, but now it's like you're making your life for yourself. These are now the kind of new lessons to learn is, okay, well, these are things I used to do, but it's like I don't want to do that anymore. How can I keep the creativity coming? How can I keep the inspiration coming? Which means going for a walk, or moving stuff around, or there's a message here of don't look at other people specifically for inspiration, because it's like if you're stuck, then you'll just and not even stuck, but it's like if you have this fear, then it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to copy that in case I can't think of anything. And that's just selling out. That's not actually giving yourself the space to have these ideas, because it's like you're not trusting yourself in order to keep growing. And in order for you to have that satisfied and happy world feeling, you gotta have to keep working at it. And you're doing great. You're doing great. But the universe is saying you're being a little snobby, and it's not intentional, but it is going to be a problem if you don't handle it now. And once you actually start like having fun at work again, this snobby thing will go away. It's like that's like a side effect of actually what's going on inside of you. Okay, so yeah, these are just confirmations of what we've been talking about. So keep creating and changing and allowing inspiration to just like come to you. And inspiration comes when you're not at work. Inspiration comes when you're outside, or if you're doing family stuff, or if you're out just outside of work. That's where inspiration hits. Creativity is where you're like moving stuff around and rearranging stuff, and then it's like when you start moving stuff, you can put different pieces of a puzzle together in order to create a new picture. So there you go. Good luck. And number 3. So we're gonna start with Citraflow. And then we're just getting some messages. I've been working on my own cards, and I made this big old deck with words in it. So we just picked a few off the top, and then we're going to see what comes out. Alright, your word is big-hearted. That's sweet. Alright, so there is a project writing a book is coming through really hard, but it's like writing a book or doing a video or some kind of communication, and you've been putting it off. And the universe is saying, now's the time to do it. Like, whatever it is that you have this idea about, the universe needs you to put it in the world, because it is going to help people. It's going to teach people, and it's going to spread some light that needs to be spread. And part of the reason it looks like that you've been putting it off is because you take care of everybody else around you, which is nice. But the universe is saying, look, we need you to write this book or put this idea in the world, and the world isn't going to fall apart if you're not hovering and just taking immediate care of every little thing for everybody else. So the universe is saying, take 20 minutes here and there and start writing it. They're not even asking for like an hour a day. They're asking for like 20 minutes a week. Start just little tiny spots here and there. And before you know it, it'll get done. But the universe really needs you to start working on it. And the reason that they're so adamant about you working on whatever your idea is because it's like, it's not necessarily that it's like a new idea, but it's like it's definitely a perception, a viewpoint that would expand on a lot. It seems like part of the other reason is that you're afraid of what kind of blowback you might get, and it doesn't matter. If you're really worried about the blowback, you have all those other people in your life you're taking care of that need you, so you can just go back to them. But there's going to be more people that you help with this information than is ever going to have any blowback for you. And the bit of blowback you might get are only from people who are jealous and mad that they didn't think of it or come up with it. So, there you go. Alright, good luck. Hi, number 4. So, we're going to start with some Citraflow. And I've been working on my own cards, and I made this big old deck with descriptive words in it. So we just took a few off the top, and we're just pulling some messages. So we'll do this and we'll see what comes out. There's going to be okay, so you have your own spiritual thing going on, you have your own following going on, and you're in the flow, you're doing great. It seems though that you haven't done much work on yourself recently. And it's like, okay, so you started your following and then you've been helping people. But there's something you've been missing, and it's a little bit of like, it's kind of an ego thing, and you might not even know what's going on. But the point of you teaching what you know is to continue to grow yourself. Because there's still deep parts of you that need change or need some kind of addressing, and you've been kind of just like, I'm the teacher, you're the student, and this is how it goes, when it's supposed to be, this is what I've learned and I want to help you, but I'm also going to learn and grow from what it is that you are doing. Just because you have kind of leveled up as far as a teacher is concerned doesn't mean that you quit growing. Because as soon as it's like, I'm the teacher and this is how it goes, and you stay stagnant, then you're not really doing yourself or anyone any favors. So, there's just this kind of need of approaching your practice a little differently, because it's like the more that you can grow and learn with the people you're helping, the better and more effective your practice can grow and become. So don't be so resistant whenever your students say something that ruffles your feathers. It's supposed to ruffle your feathers, and it's supposed to get you to realize, like, okay, look, there's a little more tweaking that needs to be done. So how is this person going to help me tweak this? So when it ruffles your feathers a little bit, admit it, at least to yourself, and then use that opportunity to grow and expand. Good luck. Hi, number 5. So, we're going to start with some Citraflow. And then, I've been working on my own cards, and I made a big old deck that has a bunch of words in it. So we just took a few off the top, and we're getting some messages about it. Okay, so the words you got is manipulator. Alright. Okay. So, there is a person or job, mostly person, that you have been giving yourself to, but it has not been going well. You're definitely not getting out of it what you're putting in it. That's for sure. And this is a huge early red flag saying this is not good for you. Now, the reason that you're in this situation is because you need to learn something. And that something is, one, sticking up for yourself and having the courage to go on your own and make your own life. And it sounds super duper duper scary. But in order for you to really have that deep, unwavering confidence is by going through such a hell that it completely changes you into a person that will just go and create their own life. Been there, done that. I understand. Now, going through this shitty relationship is also teaching you how to recognize these kind of people, how to deal with these kind of people, and okay, so it's like one of those things that it's like in order to really learn the tricks of an artist, you're going to have to learn under that artist, be that artist's shadow. And then you can either use their skills for the same thing or for you to learn and grow and teach. And that's kind of what this relationship that you're in is trying to show you, is that this is what you're willing to put up with, and this isn't healthy or good, but you have the ability to learn how to stick up for yourself and how to handle these kind of people, and then to help others be able to stand up on their own and deal with their own shitty relationships. So, you'll end up leaving this person when you get to a point that it's just, you would much rather handle all the fear and bullshit that goes with trying to do your own thing on your own than dealing with this situation. So, that's why you're in it. Good luck.